David Tennant returned to the lead role in Doctor Who on Sunday as Jodie Whittaker bowed out after 5 years as the Time Lord. Following an action-packed episode that saw many famous faces returning, the Time Lord regenerated into a very familiar face. Despite not being ready to regenerate, Jodie's doctor exclaimed, "The blossomiest blossom. That's the only sad thing. I want to know what happens next. Right then, Doctor Whoever I am about to be. You're it," before Tennant made his shock appearance. The newly regenerated doctor ran his fingers over his teeth and said, "I know these," clearly perplexed as he returned to his former body. David is returning for 3 special episodes, set to air in November 2023, after bowing out from the role in 2010. The feature-length 60th celebration of the sci-fi series will also star Catherine Tate before sex education star Ncuti Gatwa takes control of the TARDIS. Jodie's finale episode on Sunday night ended with a short trailer for the new series, which will hit screens in 2023. Following the episode, returning showrunner Russell T. Davies said, "If you thought the appearance of David Tennant was a shock, we've got plenty more surprises on the way. The path to Ncuti's 15th Doctor is laden with mystery, horror, robots, puppets, danger and fun. And how is it connected to the return of the wonderful Donna Noble? How, what, why? We're giving you a year to speculate, and then all hell lets loose." Sunday's opening scene saw the brave Time Lord, Jodie Whittaker, race to save the lives of the passengers of a space train who were battling the Master's newest Cybermen. Saturday's scenes saw the brave Time Lord race to save the lives of the passengers of a space train who were battling the Master's newest Cybermen. Joined by companions Yaz, Mandeep Gill, and Dan, John Bishop, the trio discovered that the Doctor's robotic nemesis were hunting for an unknown cargo. Dressed in space suits, they discovered that the much-sought-after entity was in fact a young girl, who was later kidnapped by the robotic Wrongans, who can also regenerate. Following the dangerous altercation, Dan decided to leave the TARDIS for his safer life back on Earth. Then fans of the original show were then rewarded with not one returnee but 2 in the form of companions Ace, Sophie Aldred, and Tegan, Janet Fielding. Despite decades away from the Time Lord, the duo were still busy fighting for good and were left uneasy when hundreds of the world's most famous paintings had all been removed from view. Elsewhere, the Master, Sacha Dhawan, finds himself in 1800s Russia and controls the country's king and royal family, resembling the real-life Rasputin. When his face begins to appear in artworks, Eunice K. Stewart, Gemma Redgrave, reunites Ace and Tegan with the Time Lord. The Doctor is then faced with another of the show's most famous villains when a Dalek hologram appears in the TARDIS. Promising not to be killed, it says that it provide much-needed help. The Doctor tracks down the Master, who has now discovered how to minimize his enemies. Taking him into custody, little do they realize that it's a trap and he has shrunken a Russian doll Cyberman with hundreds taking over the building. The Doctor then is forced inside a Dalek and has no option but to regenerate, with the Master taking over her body, sending her soul into purgatory. With Yaz desperate to save the Time Lord, she plans a trap for the Master, reuniting with Inston V. Vinder, Jacob Anderson, and Ace, who proudly parachutes into the time machine. Our hero then comes face to face with many of her old incarnations played by Colin Baker, David Bradley, Paul McGann and Sylvester McCoy. As they set off, Ace and Tegan both have poignant scenes with their own doctors as the Time Lord switches between all of her former personas. Graham, Bradley Walsh, also appears to help, splitting sides as he introduced himself as a friend of the hero as well as a friend of the Doctor and a former busman. Kate came very close to a Grizzly, and as she was almost upgraded to become a Cyberman. But working together with the help of Joe Martin's Doctor, the team vanquished the villains, with Master appearing defeated, and the Doctor returning to her body for the epic finale. She then said goodbye to her time in the TARDIS in less dramatic fashion as she enjoyed an ice cream with Yaz on the roof of the TARDIS as they floated through space. The duo refused to say goodbye but bid a tender and heartfelt farewell, with Yaz reuniting with both Dan and Graham back on Earth. Paying homage to more former companions, Yaz joined a support group for former friends of the Doctor that included Mel Bush, Bonnie Langford, Joe Grant, Katie Manning, and 97-year-old William Russell as Ian Chesterton.